welcome back to another episode of The Marriage Man. Today we are going to be talking about how to have more intimacy in a relationship. And an intimacy can be just like a euphemism for sex, but it can also be more than that. It can be this sense of feeling connected to your partner. And so a lot of couples struggle with intimacy in their relationships, and especially when I see couples in my practice, it's that sense of, when I ask them, hey, how's your guys' intimacy? And a lot of times the biggest hindrance or drawback that they have is that I just don't feel connected to my partner. And when you don't feel connected to somebody, you don't really want to sleep with them. And so what I typically start to ask is, well, how's your guys' communication? And almost every single time it's, our communication sucks. We can't talk to each other. We argue and we fight. And so we kind of just go off on our own and stay by ourselves. And if that's kind of you or your partner, I want to help you kind of understand what's going on and how to navigate that. So when couples are having poor communication, what typically that looks like the biggest indicator of this is bad communication versus good communication is bad communication has a lot of defensiveness in it. Somebody feels attacked, somebody's walls go up, and they just stop listening. And why is that? Because when you are getting defensive, it's because you're feeling attacked. And when any of us, me included, when we feel attacked, we do one of two things. We either fight back or we run away. And you see this play out when somebody gets defensive. What happens and why it breaks down communication is because your goal for maybe starting this conflict, even though you maybe didn't want it to be a conflict with your partner, was, hey, there's something I need to know. There's something I need to ask. There's something that I want. And that's your goal. But your partner, as soon as they feel attacked, their goal is run away. I want to end this conversation. I don't want to talk to you. Or you don't understand me, you don't know who I am, you have this picture in your head of who I am, and I want to fight that. You think I'm this way, well, I'm not. And so now you have two people in a relationship that have two goals that don't line up. And so the communication just goes nowhere. Nobody walks away from that feeling like they were heard. And so if that's you, what do you do? And so the thing is start look for what causes bad communication. The biggest indicator of bad communication is what I call harsh startups. And harsh startups look unique in every single marriage, but what they do is that as soon as you do them, as soon as you do a harsh startup, the person immediately becomes defensive. That could be a tone of voice, that could be a saying, it could be an eye roll, it could be just the way your face looks. Every single marriage is different. And so there's no universal, every time this happens, your partner's going to get defensive. Heck, I've seen some couples that love to argue and fight at a very loud tempo and they don't get defensive. Like I said, every single culture and every single family is different. But the important thing is in your marriage, there's things you're doing that are provoking a harsh startup, and you may not even know what they are. So how do we start figuring them out? Well, the easiest way is to ask your partner, but not in the middle of a fight. It's kind of this sense of after we've had a fight and maybe we've both kind of calmed down, and if you can, coming back together and saying, hey, let's talk about that. Why did we get in such a fight? Not to kind of bring the issue back up, but what did I say? What did I do that made you feel attacked? And here's the thing. A lot of this step is going to be dependent upon your partner really kind of asking themselves questions of, why did that bother me? Why did that upset me? And if your partner doesn't have what I call good emotional intelligence, meaning the ability to kind of understand your emotions and what you're feeling, they may not be able to tell you, and that could be a real problem. And so if you're kind of running into that where you can't really communicate about why you even get mad, this is a good time to go to counseling, because a counselor is skilled in the tools of, okay, so when you're doing this, your partner's feeling this, and they're able to, using their emotional intelligence, understand and help your partner begin to understand themselves and help you begin to understand yourself. Because that's key. Because here's the thing, no matter how much of these videos you watch, no matter how much counseling you go to, no matter how many books you read, on conflict, marriages always have conflict, period. They always do. And so it's learning, okay, if we're going to fight, how do we fight in a way that doesn't provoke defensiveness? Because you can have a disagreement with somebody and it can be very lively, but if neither person feels attacked, they both feel respected and heard, then the fight can continue. But as soon as one person feels defensive, it shifts the dynamic. And so it's learning where are the mines in the minefield and how do I avoid them? Because like I said, no amount of counseling is going to take those mines away, but it can at least give you an insight as to how do I start talking about hard things with my partner without making them feel defensive. Because here's the thing, if you can start having those conversations about hard topics and you can get them resolved and you can get them worked through, guess what? You're going to feel connected. You're going to feel like, wow, I understand my partner. I'm connecting with my partner. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but I'm connecting. And when you do that, I can almost guarantee you're going to want to be more intimate with that person. You're going to feel safer. You're going to feel more enjoyment in their presence, and you're just going to want to be around them more. So, like I said, if you and your partner are struggling with intimacy, it might not necessarily be just a physical thing. It could be just poor communication skills. And so I hope this video has helped to kind of help you understand and maybe kind of open up some possibilities. Hopefully it didn't make you defensive, because I never meant to make any of this critical. It's always meant to help and to aid you, the viewer. So leave a like, leave us a comment. Love to hear from you guys, and I will see you in the next video. All right? Bye.